parallel feet, walk in place. Just very naturally walk in place. And then look where your feet land. This is your natural position for your feet, and from here we'll make our feet parallel. We define parallel feet as imaginary lines from the middle of the ankle to the second toe. So imagine drawing those on your feet. So here we go. I'm going to line up imaginary line, middle of ankle to second toe. And what you see here are feet parallel. This will be great support for ankles, feet, heading up to your knees and hips. And this is parallel feet. Placing the four corners of the feet. The four corners of the feet are the ball mound of the big toe right at the base of the toe, the inner heel, the ball mound of the little toe, and the outer heel. And I'm going to show you how to place them to have balanced feet, a balanced stance. You start by walking in place and just allowing your feet to fall naturally. And then make your feet parallel to each other. For placing the four corners of the feet, lift your heel up on your right foot and press down through the ball mound of the big toe. Stretch the arch back and place the inner heel down. Spread your toes and place the ball mound of the little toe and then the outer heel. Pause and feel the connection to the earth and the groundedness through that foot compared to the other one. Here's the second side. Lifting the heel up, place the ball mound of the big toe down and pressing down through it. Stretch your arch back and place the inner heel. Spread your toes and place the ball mound of the little toe and the outer heel. Balanced feet leads to great ankle strength, great for the arches and supporting the knees and hips. This is toe walk. It's great for the toes, the feet, ankles. It goes like this. You place all the ball mounds of the toes down and press through the ball mound of the big toe especially and spread your toes and then place your foot down. So I'm pressing all the mounds of the toes down and walking. Funny little thing, but it's great for the feet. Press down. When you press through the ball mounds of the toes, you'll be able to spread your toes more. This is great for arthritic toes. Coming back, I'm going to show a variation. If you have a bunion on the big toe, arthritis in the toes, this can be really helpful to keep the bunion from getting bigger and even begin to reduce it. You've got to go very gentle or not a huge turning in, just a slight angle. All the ball mounds of the toes press, but especially the big toe. And then do you see you fan it out so the big toe lines up nice and straight. And you do your walk turning in first. Think baby steps with how much you turn in and twist. The idea is to line up the tip of the big toe straight with the bone below it. Sort of the opposite of what a bunion would do. You'll feel great stretch in this joint, great foot therapy. This is feet up on a rolled blanket. Great for the feet, knees, hips, back. Take your yoga blanket and start, if your blanket has fringe, start from the end that does not have fringe. And roll it up just halfway, not the full way. Then I'd like you to place the first third of your foot up on the rolled blanket. I'll make that a little less. It looks like this, feet parallel. Bend your knees, hands on your knees. This is downhill skier pose with feet up on a rolled blanket. Here's deeper, forearms to the thighs. This is great for the feet, arches, and really the foundation for a lot of the back work that we do. Hold for 5 to 10 breaths and just enjoy. To come out of this pose, you'll step off the blanket. Bring your hands to your hips, thighs go back, lift your belly, and stand straight up. This is chair pose, great for ankles, knees, hips, getting up into the back. It builds great strength and mobility in the legs. I've placed the yoga block right between my calves and the fleshiest part of the calves. Feet are parallel. Bend your knees and come to downhill skier pose. In this pose, the sitting bones are lifting. There's a curve in the low back, and then the belly goes back to support the spine from the front body. I'm taking my tailbone down and lifting the low belly hugely. Big action here, but not so much that I round my back. So this would be no. This is curve, add tailbone, strong belly. From here, bring your arms up. The knees go forward of the ankles, tailbone down, lift the belly, rise up in the heart. It's a demanding pose. Rooting through the legs, stand up and release your arms. This is for toe mobility and just great for the joints in the toes. So you'll take your fingers and actually thread them through each of your toes. You got to work them in there. And I just want to bring some gentle motion. Do you see I'm rolling the ankle in both directions first? Just a little ankle movement. The ankle is a joint that hinges as well, so this is great for the ankle. And then do it in the toes. Just roll in both directions. And that's it. So that's opening the toes, getting them warmed up for a next posture. Here, you'll be up on your toes. Spread them. We've been practicing spreading the toes so the big toe can press down, spread away. And then bring your hips back towards your heels. Now this can be very intense, so you don't have to hold it for a long time. Little bits is really great with this work. And then come on up and pause. Then go back again. In this posture, press out through the toes, so they're not totally just organic and sinking in. I'm pressing out. Second stage is to come and sit back on the heels. If your knees aren't allowing you to sit back on the heels, skip this posture. There'll be other ways in which you can work the feet. You'll see I go back and forth, spending a few seconds up on the toes, and then coming back to the instep. Great for toes and ankles. This is child's pose. It's a great pose for resting, also great for the low back. I'll show two variations. In the first variation, the knees are open wide and the big toes are touching. I'd like you to start forward up on fingertips. And in this pose, take your tailbone down and lift the low belly. So I'm not doing a collapsed rib cage to the floor. This is no. Instead, I'm tucking the tail and lifting the belly and pressing back, hips towards the heels, and then lowering down. Head can go on your hands. It's also very nice to rest your forehead on a block. Child's pose. Lower on the block is very nice. In the next variation, work with legs together. Same actions, tailbone down, lift the belly, bring the torso down. So instead of collapsed rib cage forward, it's tailbone down, belly back. Bring your head down. If your head doesn't comfortably reach the floor, grab a block. Use your hands, inhale, and come on up.